Virginia stood backstage at the Las Vegas Hippodrome, drawn tightly into herself as the warm-up group started its last number. The huge stadium was filled to capacity. A record-breaking audience, her manager had told her, gleefully rubbing his hands together. "Counting my money already," she thought grimly. What would they do if I said I was going to the John and never came back? She smiled as she thought of the pandemonium that would ensue for about as long as it took for the next brilliant young star to appear on the scene, and she would be forgotten. I wish I had the courage to do it. I'm so sick of this rat race, I can hardly stand it anymore. Just rush, 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 smile, 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 no matter how you feel. Nobody cares how you feel, as long as you keep doing what you're supposed to do. Not to mention a lifestyle. I wasn't brought up to live this way. Mom and Dad are so good about not saying anything and letting me live my own life, but I feel their disapproval every time I talk to them. Mom would say it's my guilty conscience. She's probably right. I do need to take some time, go home and think before it's too late. How can I do that? I could no more show up there with Frankie than I could sprout wings and fly. He wouldn't like them, no matter how nice it would be to him. Marty can't seem to schedule any time off for me anyway. We aren't making money if I'm goofing off. Don't think, just have another drink like Frankie would do. I can't stand him much longer. What am I going to do? The warm-up group abruptly finished its number with a dissonant clang, bringing her back to the real world with a start. Then the announcer was giving the intro. She heard him say, "A brilliant young star with unparalleled talent, an incomparable vocalist." I may throw up, she thought. Then her name was shouted, and the audience began to cheer, and she hesitated, wondering how long they would keep it up if she didn't go out there. The beautiful, young, incomparably talented rock star stepped out onto the stage to renewed, now almost frenzied applause from the screaming crowd. The band started the first number, and the audience screamed louder. How can they do that, she wondered. They can't possibly hear me. She waved her guitar and held up her hand to indicate she wanted silence. When the vast auditorium was finally hushed, she raised the mic to her lips and said, "What did we ever do to make God hate us so much that we all ended up here tonight?" The audience gasped and began to buzz amongst itself. She strummed a harsh chord on the guitar, bringing him to abrupt attention. "When I was in college, I majored in history. I bet you didn't know that. I did, though, and one of the books I read was The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. Standing backstage, I listened to you screaming and shouting, and I thought to myself, bread and circuses, that's what this is. I'm the circus, and you're the bread. Instead of gladiators fighting to the death and the winner getting white bread, well, at least they got to eat. Now you listen to me, and I get green bread." A ripple of laughter spread through the crowd. "Then you think you're going to leave here and fight a traffic jam and go home. Well, I guess what, folks? Tonight we all get fed at the Lions when the show is over." She suddenly riffed a chord. Her band started into the first song, and she started the rhythm of the music. "The lions are roaring in the jungle. They are all hungry tonight." The crowd tittered, swaying to the rhythm of the song. "I love you like a hungry lion. I'll gobble you up in one bite." Now they were laughing out loud and clapping with the beat. "If you love me, roar like a lion, then hug me, hug me, hug me tight." The band roared, the cymbals clanged, and the audience, caught up in the fervor, roared again and again. Backstage, her manager turned to the director with a laugh and said, "Well, you got to admit, she just gave new meaning to the phrase musical comedy. She sure had me going for a few minutes. I can't wait to see the reviews tomorrow, but I sure wish she'd let us know ahead of time when she's going to do something that far out."